Close your eyes for a moment and listen to the wind as it caresses the grains of sand above the ruins of the Ishtar Gate on our channel. The footprint of time and space. We don't view ruins as lifeless stones, but as living imprints left by the human spirit in its struggle against oblivion. Default text: Babylon. A name that has echoed through the corridors of time for over 2,000 years, from 2300 to 480 BC. It was not merely a city, but an attempt to impose order upon chaos, to create a blue facade amidst the endless yellow of the desert. Here, we will contemplate how geography shaped this civilization, and how humankind responded to the call of the harsh earth. Now, let's move to another dimension. Imagine you woke up as a young engineer in the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, the second 6-7. You walk down the processional way, surrounded by walls adorned with lions and dragons, made of glazed brick that gleams like jewels under the scorching midday sun. You feel the heat emanating from the ground, but you glimpse the hanging gardens on the horizon. Were they merely a myth? Or were they the first attempt in history? Humanity's climate engineering? The king wanted to create a cool, mountainous environment for his wife in the heart of the desert, defying the laws of geography to leave an emotional mark on spacetime 3:17. As you walk, you hear different languages, from Phoenician traders to the wisdom of ziggurat priests watching the stars to decipher fate. In Babylon, language created reality, and human survival depended on the ability to transform this desolate place into the center of the world. 58-59. But, as philosophers say, every power carries within it the seeds of its own demise. Babylon, which withstood invaders, found itself facing a silent enemy, the changing course of rivers and the salinization of the soil. The very geography that had given it life began to slowly pull the rug out from under its feet. 42. Babylon fell politically in 480 BC, but its impact on space and time did not disappear. It reminds us of what Michel Foucault said about power and exclusion. Babylon was trying to define what was great and what was eternal. And today, as we look at its ruins, we realize that cities may vanish, but the mark they leave on the planet's memory remains like an unbroken echo. In Babylon, survival depended not only on taming the river, but also on taming the souls. Here we find a unique imprint on spacetime, language that creates reality. Hammurabi's stele was not merely stones. It was the first major attempt to regulate the rhythm of society through the indisputable word. 58-59. Consider the Babylonian philosophy of power, how the king transformed from a ruler into a body representing the people, where vigilance became the ruler's primary task to ensure that chaos did not erupt amidst this volatile desert climate. It was the code that defined the boundaries of justice and cruelty, just as the walls defined the boundaries of the city. Every civilization has a climate tipping point from which there is no return. Babylon did not fall only to the sword, but when spacetime began to withdraw its greatest gift, water. Imagine the anxiety in the eyes of the farmers as they watched the soil become saline and reject their seeds. Babylon faced what we now call the global river crisis, where overuse, climate change, and water shifts choked the lifeblood. The geography that had been an ally suddenly became the judge executing the sentence of departure. For thousands of years, Babylon remained a mere geographical ghost, a civilization forgotten by the world for 4,000 years, buried beneath layers of silence and exclusion. But does the trace truly die, or does it await the moment when space-time decides to reveal its secrets? When the excavators of the 19th century began digging through this earth, they were not extracting stones, but rather practicing what the philosopher François Fourier calls a ritual of remembrance. We do not analyze Babylon as a lifeless corpse, but rather resurrect it in our minds, breathing its air and thinking in the language of its inhabitants. Babylon was not simply a city, but a total system, attempting to answer the question of survival. How can a human being leave a mark that lasts longer than their biological lifespan? 57-59. Consider the astonishing paradox, the very geography that swallowed. Babylon is the same geography that preserved its secrets in its dried clay. This clay holds our earliest codes, the 60 seconds that govern our minutes today, the 360 degrees that divide our circles, all Babylonian space-time traces that still pulsate in your watch and your phone right now, 54 or 57. Babylon did not disappear. Rather, it permeated the fabric of our reality to such an extent that we no longer notice it. As Michel Foucault pointed out, history is a struggle of forces. Conquerors and time itself tried to banish Babylon, to make it like a ship of fools adrift in the currents of history, never allowed to dock in our memory. But today, Babylon returns as the greatest city in history, not because of its military might, but because it represents the archetype of the cosmopolitan city that melted down diverse languages, religions, and cultures into one under the scorching desert sun, 34:57. In the impact of space-time, we look at Babylon as a contemporary lesson. In light of the global river drought crises we are witnessing today, we see in the mirrors of Babylon a silent warning, 42:43. Babylon tells us that greatness is not in the building, but in the fragile balance with the environment. Babylon has been resurrected not to celebrate its past, but to think about our future, to understand that impact is a responsibility towards the earth and towards time, 58:60. Here, where dust meets eternity, we conclude our journey in Babylon, but the trace of space-time never ends. Every stone your hands have touched, every word you have spoken, is a thread in the fabric of this great land. Babylon whispers to us in moments of stillness, "I was you, and you will be me." We are all transients in this space-time, leaving our imprints on the walls of time as the Babylonians left their names on the bricks of their palaces. Geography may change, rivers may dry up, and empires may dissolve like salt in water, but the will to endure remains the constant essence of human anthropology. 7:42. Babylon whispers to us in moments of stillness, "I was you, and you will be me." We are all transients in this space-time. Reflect on your own life. What is the trace you leave in your place and time? Is it a trace of clay that will vanish with the first breeze? Or is it a trace of spirit, like the wisdom of Babylon, that will continue to resonate for thousands of years after your departure? 60:63. Take this tranquility with you. Feel your connection to this planet, to this epic journey that began in Babylon and continues within you. History is not just a series of events. It is an awareness of existence. Thank you for being a part of this trace today. Stay calm, stay alert, stay connected to space-time. See you in the next trace. Visually, the scene gradually fades to black as the words space-time trace, where Earth meets memory appear. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.